Okay, it's yours to zoom in wherever. Thank you. Good work, Darren. All right. Gideon, how good? How good was that speech from Darren? Was that good information or what? Who feels a lot safer now? Well, I can tell you I do, and I'm really excited that we've got people that sharp working for us to keep us protected, right? That's pretty awesome. So give it up for Darren one more time. Thank you for your service. How many people here are Cardinal fans? Yeah! Pretty packed house in here. How many Cardinal fans do we have in the house? Yeah! How about this side over here? Cardinal fans? All right, you guys are awesome. My name is Carter Rethwish. Some of you may know me as the Cardinal Cowboy. I run around the Cardinal games. How many people have seen me do my thing? I hold the trophy up and say, let's cheer, right? All right. So the truth is, there's a reason I do this. How many people have been through a difficult situation in life? Isn't that just kind of part of life, right? Yeah. And there'll be other difficult situations you'll have to overcome in your life. So the truth is, the reason I started doing this comes back to a story back when I was 19. So I was 19 years old and I went away to college. My freshman year, I transferred to another school called Central Methodist University to play baseball. And about 18 months prior to, how many people here are familiar with David Freese? Right? Ryan Howard. Everybody know Ryan Howard? Ryan Howard's also from St. Louis. We all played in the same league called St. Louis Amateur Baseball, called the St. Louis Amateur Baseball Association, SLABA. I won the team MVP. Those guys also, I talked to David, he said he won the team MVP for his team. They also won the league MVP. I lost the league MVP award to a guy by the name of Brian Rupp. How many people have heard of Brian Rupp? He ended up playing third base for the AAA Cardinals. He had a guy in front of him named Scott Rowland. Anybody remember Scott Rowland played for the Cardinals, right? But Brian's now the AA manager for the Washington Nationals, and he's made a great career with baseball. I had hoped to do the same thing, but someone had better plans for me, right? So the truth is, I was away at college. I was actually playing soccer at the time. I'm going to say, how many people are familiar with the World Series trophy? Right? Looks bigger on TV, doesn't it? This is a replica I made. First time I ever used pi r squared to make that trophy. But I was playing baseball and soccer. I was going to play football too. That's another story. I ended up recovering from what happened. But on the way home, we're on Highway 109. Everybody know, how many people are familiar with Highway 109 in Eureka? A bit of a windy road, right? And we're driving down Highway 109. A truck is spinning out of control and hits us head on, causing a traumatic accident. The driver of our car, Jimmy Barnes, actually died about 4 days later. I was in the back seat. Jimmy Weatherly, bad injury. You could see the inside of his skull because of the damage that was done. I was in the back seat and off to the side of the road after this. The ambulance got there relatively quickly, but they said, go ahead and take the first ambulance. Carter's going to be okay. Before the ambulance left, though, I began to have seizures. Timing is everything, right? Had that first ambulance left, I would not have survived, they said. But because I had the seizures before they left, they pulled the drunk driver who had hit us. The guy that hit us was driving, was drunk. He later blew a .21 BAC. This is a long time ago, but I'll never forget that number. And that's almost three times the legal limit now. So they pulled the drunk driver out, put me into the ambulance, and I began to have seizures. Anyone ever seen anybody have a seizure? I don't remember what it's like personally, because after I had the seizures, I went into a coma. Has anybody seen anybody in a coma? I've done a little research. This took me up until about 2 years ago. I'm 44 now, but the accident happened when I was 19, and something I didn't really want to research until recently. I decided I better study this. I got a little award and I decided to give a speech about how this all transpired. We're helping youth kids, and so I want to talk to them about what happened. And the odds of coming out of a coma statistically are very slim, depending on how long you're in that coma. And the odds of a full recovery are almost null. depending on how serious that is. And any coma is going to be some kind of a dramatic recovery if it's going to happen. But I was determined. I got to the hospital. They called my parents. They told them, they said, less than 50-50 odds that Carter's going to survive. Well, I'm here. Thank you. After I survived, and my parents didn't tell me this for years, they said, you're likely going to have to take care of Carter for the rest of his life. My dad yanked me out of that psychiatrist's office and said, we're never going to talk to that guy again, and you're going to go after every goal and dream you ever had. You just might have to do it a different way. So I continued to go to college. I did not drop out. I stayed in school. I had about 2 weeks out. Wasn't because of a vacation. 1 week in a coma, 1 week where they made me stay home, and then I went back to school. I graduated on time. Didn't get great grades, but I graduated on time, was determined to stay in school. I'd seen other kids drop out with much less adversity, and that just wasn't going to be me. But I believe that determination came from my love for a sport that I played. How many people play sports? Anybody? Just about everybody does some kind of sport, likes sports, has played sports. But baseball, I believe, saved my life. Baseball gave me the ability, the ambition, the drive to make it happen. And my team was the St. Louis Cardinals. How many Cardinal fans do we have here, right? Yeah. There we go. And the Cardinals have a superior perspective, a superior approach, a superior mentality, I believe, over everyone else, because they don't spend the most money to buy all the players, right? They develop the players on their own, they bring them up, and they win, even though they don't always try to compete to say, I want the most expensive guy that's out there, right? And that's not the way you do it. I believe that you can win and do anything you set your mind to, and I've proven that. I was never the strongest, the biggest, the fastest, but I took multiple, hundreds and hundreds of ground balls. And when I took so many ground balls, because I practiced so much, that gave me an advantage over all the other kids that might have been better than me, but didn't try, didn't practice. You see, I would try something 10 times before the other person who might have been smarter, faster, better, even tried once. And so think of the advantage I gained by doing that, because I probably failed 9. But now I know what can happen and what's going to cause something to fail when they haven't experienced that yet. And they may be really smart, but they haven't seen it or won't know what to do when I've had it happen to me 9 times and they haven't even tried yet. The bottom line is this little planet we're on, it's up to you. I believe there's a power above that gives us all of the tools and guides us at times, but ultimately it's up to you if you're going to decide. And the speech I gave to a kid, and I was just him and I in a hospital bed, and he was suffering from leukemia, and they asked me to visit him, and I gave him my same little speech. I said, Seth, this is up to you. You've got to come out of this. And I didn't realize the impact. I didn't know until many years later. His mother said, Carter, the reason Seth survived 2 more years when they said he wouldn't was because you told him it was up to him, and he got that fire inside of him and he decided to fight. And that's the kind of determination we all have inside of us. It's really a matter, are you going to apply yourself? Are you going to give yourself the effort? Are you going to make a difference, or are you going to come up with excuses? Excuses just make it harder for you, more difficult. When you pick on somebody, when you make something more difficult for somebody else, when you don't help someone, you've just hurt yourself, because you had an opportunity to build a network, to build a bridge, to get somebody that will now support you. And that's what we all do when we help others, because now you'll have a whole network of people that will help you. And I've experienced that personally. You see, it's not the failure that's going to destroy what you're going after. The failure is what's going to direct you to what your passion is. The failure is going to point you in the direction for something that you're really good at, and give you the path that you're going to succeed at most. You see, I believe I have a superpower, and that superpower has developed from me because I know what it's like to be near death. I know what it's like to be pushed to the limit, where most people never have that opportunity. Most people are never pushed to the level where they have to decide whether they're going to live or die. And because I've been pushed to that, I know what I'm truly capable of. And the truth is, you don't have to go through what I went through to develop that and understand that about yourself, because each and every one of you can do that. It's whether or not you're going to go for it. It's whether or not you're going to believe in yourself, whether you're going to try, whether you're going to help people along the way. The worst thing you can do is never try. There are so many opportunities you're going to have. You've got to find the one that you love, the passion you have, and go after it, and never, ever stop. I ended up running the email systems for the corporate clusters for Anheuser-Busch for about 7 years. So from near death to where now I managed 6,000 users. And if they didn't get their email, the company was not going to function, right? But I built up the ability to do that because I built computers in my parents' basement to teach myself how to do that, while everybody else may or may not have done so much. But I was bound and determined to get there as fast as I could, and by the time I was 28, that's what I was doing. The absolute key to this, though, is you've got to help as many people as you can along the way, all right? The more people you help, it's just the law of relativity. The more people you help, the more help you're going to get when somebody is there to help you when you need that kind of help. And finally, it's up to you if you're going to do this. There's nowhere else you're going to be able to get this unless you go after it. It's entirely up to you, and to bring that support in from everybody that's around you. So, if you would, please raise your right hands. We're going to take the Cardinal Cowboy pledge. And so here they are. My right hand is going to be opposite of you because I'm facing you guys, right? So if you would, repeat after me. I promise to dream. And to never ever stop chasing my dreams. And to help as many other people as I can. To also chase their dreams. All right, guys, if you want to ensure your success, you have to stay away from alcohol and drugs. I've had too many close friends who had so much ability, so much they could do, and it was destroyed because of alcohol and drugs. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, on the count of 3, I want you to give me a giddy up. Remember this, though. If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you are correct. Think about that. And it's not the error in the game that kills you. It's not the mistake that kills you. It's not the mistake that causes life to be difficult. It is how you respond to that mistake. And are you going to overcome it, or are you going to let it destroy you? On a count of 3, give me a giddy up. 1, 2, 3. Giddy up! All right, you guys are awesome. Now, everybody stay calm. We've got Eddie, our protection dog here. All right. We got to stay calm for him because we can't get him riled up. So everybody, please stay calm. Stay in your seats and be ready here. Please do not rile up the dog. Thanks, you guys. Do not rile up Eddie. All right, thanks, you guys. Giddy up.
What an introduction.
You want that?
I'm not going to use
Okay.
it.
Is that all right?
Great
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, really.
Thank you.
You know what's funny? I actually do know Brian Rupp.
Did you really?
I went to high school with him.
Did you really?
Yeah.
He was a good ball player.
Yeah, he was great. Like how many?
What's that?
That's in Fayette.
Yeah, Fayette, sir. Yep. Got my mic on still.